And I've got mainstream U.S. and British news. In the last almost decade, we've covered it countless times. You can go read this for yourself, how they're going to give us shots that eat our brains. I mean, come on. It's just body snatchers, but they're our own species coming and saying, after you have the shot, there's not going to be any more pain. After you've taken the lithium, you're not going to care anymore. The carbon tax, it's good. We're going to cut how many kids you can have. We're creating a utopia. Prince Charles is going to save the earth. Savior of the earth. Kill us, oh Prince Charles. And they do it in this simpering, soft voice. And they talk to us like we're children. Everything's gonna be okay very, very soon. And you know, it's on record, they found a bunch of weird RNA and a bunch of different virus fragments in all of those big 5 vaccine makers with the H1N1. And I'll guarantee you, it was in the London Telegraph yesterday, a 10-fold increase in violent seizures when the children take that stinking shot. That's a violent autoimmune response with those viruses just wreaking havoc in there, just savaging those brains. I see exactly what they're doing.
Ask questions about whether or not any pharmaceutical or any product should be added to the drinking water. You're really asking 2 sets of questions. One is, should any product that might be beneficial be added to the drinking water? And secondly, should the specific product be added? The first question, I think, can be dismissed fairly easily. People who oppose adding enhancement to the drinking water, in the way people opposed adding fluoride to the drinking water half a century ago, rely on the false premise of naturalism, that because something occurs naturally, it must be better. Now, many things that occur naturally are better.
Okay, so we're going to go through this. So this is how he sells it. And that's the same thing that the other bioethicist at Oxford, Julian Savulescu. Am I pronouncing that right? Yeah, Julian Savulescu. He says, well, we got fluoride through, and it's the test case. Now we need to put Ritalin, Adderall, and other drugs in the water. So they're just going to put hundreds of things in the water, statins, you name it, because they're going to medicate you. This is a medical, bioethical, scientific dictatorship that says we're going to drug you. And that's what these GMO foods are. In every study, it sterilizes or reduces fertility in all the rats and other mammals, guinea pigs they tested on. It increases cancer. In all the studies, you're being forced medicated. It's hidden in the genetics of the plants. The BP corn, the BP cotton that's killing the livestock that eat it, that humans are eating. It's destroying their fertility. It's on record. You're already being drugged through the food, the water, the air. They're doing it. Don't you understand? I'm not joking around here. It's time for you to grow up and realize we've been telling you the truth. We've done the research. I can barely control myself the more I learn, the more I confirm that we're 100% right. I love my children, and how dare you people think you can drug their water and drug their food? And they know they forced fluoridation on us, so now they're coming with the drugs, a hardcore antipsychotic, a heavy metal, lithium, super toxic, that fries the brains of the mental patients they give it to, and they're going to put you on lithium, whether you like it or not. And they say, you accepted fluoride, a deadly chemical. If they can get away with that, the sky's the limit, folks, and they're not going to stop. Don't you understand? They always send up some effeminate little, hi, I'm here. Oh, I want to help you. I'm the boss. I'm the control freak. I say what goes in your water. I decide your mental health. I care about you. This other bioethicist says put serotonin reuptake inhibitors in the water, a psychotropic hallucinogen, which on the label admits it massively increases suicide, not just in humans, but other animals. That's Scientific American last week. Everything they, now we got to have a debate about them. We don't want lithium. We don't, it's toxic. No, shut up, conspiracy theorist. Lithium is good and so is Prozac. Take your flu shot. Mercury is good. I have the newscast where they say mercury is good for you. Go back to him. Go back to him.
But that's correlational, not causational. Pain is natural. Anesthetics are synthetic. Most people would prefer anesthesia to pain.
Listen, listen, punk. You don't get to decide what goes in my body. You understand that? You little smart mouth control freak who knows he'll get funding and grants and power because you're promoting what the globalists are already doing. You understand that? My body is mine, scumbag. My children are mine. They deserve to lead their own life without some soft sack of garbage like you trying to drug them with deadly chemicals, you piece of trash. Go back to him.
Same logic. There are many things that naturally occur in the drinking water that are beneficial in some parts of the country that don't occur in other parts of the country. One of those items happens to be lithium.
Ugh.
People who oppose adding lithium to the drinking water in trace amounts don't go around advocating to strain the lithium from the drinking water in areas where it does exist. The specifics of lithium are rather interesting, and I should add, I'm not the first person to propose this idea.
You're not the first. Back it up 10 seconds, please, as we analyze this. Folks, you're drugged and mind controlled if you're not angry. Okay, this is normal response here, getting upset. People have pointed out in El Paso over the last 30-plus years and other cities that have it that you should filter your water and that you shouldn't drink it because it's toxic. In fact, pull up poison control, search the term poison control or hazardous material sheet lithium. I want to read to people. I already have read it and know it, but I want people to see it. It is a toxic metal. Toxic metal. I don't care if CBS News tells you mercury and lithium are good for your brain. It isn't good for your brain. Just like all these early onset of neurological disorders we're now seeing. Oh, it's normal now to get Alzheimer's at 25, 30, they say. No, it isn't. Heavy metals fry your brain. Period. Period. You like all the wrecked autistic children all over the place who have no future? You like what you've done to people? You sickening eugenics, extermination lovers! You're the enemy of humanity! Go back to that slime bag! The video's not playing.
I'm not the first person to propose this idea. Peter Kramer floated this idea in the New York Times over a year ago, the Brown University psychiatrist, the author of Listening to Prozac. In areas where lithium in trace amounts is in the drinking water, there seems to be a lower level of suicidality, and in the Texas counties that were studied, there's actually a lower crime rate.
Hit pause.
The same studies were repeated in Japan.
Back it up another 20. I want people to hear that again. This is so monumental. Humans are supposed to be focused and full of tectonic fury and energy and understanding. You know, when I privately write poetry, it just flows out of me, or when I'm oil painting, or when I'm making a film, or when I'm passionate about something, or when I go hear a beautiful orchestra, or when I watch my children, innocent and good and full of life and future, out playing in the backyard. It's magic. And yeah, that's scary for some people to have a conscious, powerful, burning mind that Thomas Jefferson talked about. And this guy is telling you he wants to put a heavy metal, how good it'd be to put a heavy metal in your water. It's so outrageous that these control freaks tell us they're going to run our lives. And Congressman Stark says the feds can make you do anything they want. And now they're taking over health care to force all of this on you. All the stuff you've seen so far is only the testing of this stuff. It's just so outrageous to look at this guy. Go back to him.
In trace amounts is in the drinking water, there seems to be a lower level of suicidality, and in the Texas counties that were studied, there's actually a lower crime rate. The same studies were repeated in Japan, completely different cultural milieu, and they had the same result. I should add that we're not talking about adding therapeutic levels of lithium to the drinking water. It's worth noting that if you wanted to get a therapeutic level in the trace amounts that currently exist in the areas where there is already lithium, you would have to drink several Olympic-sized swimming pools every minute to reach that level of concern.
Hit pause.
That level of...
Hit pause. Just like sodium fluoride, lithium is a cumulative poison and builds up in the organs and the bones. And this guy, if he doesn't know it, needs to grow up. It's easy to sit around and put a tie on and be a control freak and sit there and boss us with his little lisping control freak voice. But it isn't going to work, Jack. You understand that? 1 part per million of sodium fluoride reduces the IQ by at least 10 points in a child. doubles their chances of bone cancer. This is so incredible. This is so incredible. Just everything is lies and distortions. Go ahead and start playing it again. Here's the video.
So the reality is these are very low levels, and there's no reason to think they're not safe in the areas they already are exist, so why not give everybody that benefit?
Okay.
Well, actually, it is the element. It's the ionic form of the element. Unlike many pharmaceuticals, which are complex compounds synthesized in laboratories, lithium is simply an ion that occurs naturally in the environment. I'm not a geologist. I don't know exactly the process by which the lithium leaches into the water, but it does. And I think it's also worth noting that the mechanism by which the lithium works in the body is probably very different in the treatment of diseases like bipolar disorder or mood disorders, mania, than it is in the much lower levels where it seems to prevent suicidality. And the theory is that very low or trace amounts of lithium enhance connectivity between neurons.